Right, tonight I'm going to talk about how to launch your new business, and it is to start with your why. We actually on Saturday spent like an hour or more about why, because the why is so important. That is the thing which is going to make you work.
And it's those who start with why that have the ability to inspire those around them. Simon Sinek. Here at Neolife, it's easy to see the incredible products, see the compensation plan, and want to run out and immediately get going with this ultimate startup opportunity. But if you fail to pause in the beginning and start with why, you could be limiting your success. So let's start at the right spot together. Why Neolife? Why do you want to succeed? What is it that makes you want to voluntarily spend your spare time taking these products and sharing them with others? What is your cause, your purpose, your belief? How do you want to make an impact? People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. People will buy you before they ever think about buying your product. To truly get to the core of what motivates you, please go to page 8 in your Getting Started guide and put some time into answering the question provided and numbering your motivations. The time spent on this activity will help you to unlock the all-powerful question of why. You will know you found your true why when it evokes emotion within you and you go from wanting to succeed to I must succeed. Knowing your why will help you most on your bad days. When the going gets tough and you don't feel like doing it anymore, that's when your why kicks in and helps you to just take one more step. I've always heard that if your why is big enough, the how becomes easy. But that's just not true. The how doesn't become easy, the how becomes worth it. An example, there's a fire in your house and your kids are inside. Will it be easy to run in and grab them? No, it's not even a question. Any parent would gladly, without thinking, run into a burning building for their children because it's worth it. So when the why is big enough, the how becomes worth it. Find a why that's worth your time and energy to build this business. And a little pro tip, once you do find your why, build your story starting with that.
Right, so we need a plan of action. Why? What is their purpose? Why they want to build the business? What will get them to action? To make the sacrifice. It's like Ashley just said, if you have children in the building, if your own children is in the building, you will run in. That is for sure. And it is the same with this business. Teach your new people the core products. That's why we have product training every Monday night, so that you can start learning each and every product. How to talk about it. Links to the best sellers and also to use them. Benefits of the core products. I have links for about everything. So if people, ask me a question, it's easy to answer them. You just send them a link. Or if you don't hear from people regularly, send them a link and just remind them on how awesome our products is. Most people don't really worry about the ingredients and the science. Create a list of people, all the people they know, the relationships they have with them, they have influence with them, and let them make at least 10 people who value health, needs energy, lose weight, and is open to the business. So it doesn't help to give you 10 people and they already said they're really not interested, they don't want anything to do with it. So at least make a list of 10 people. I think Joel over the weekend said 25 people. Charlie used to say 100 people. But obviously, the bigger your names list, the more asset you have. Right, once you have the list of names, then teach the people to tell their stories. And you can go and listen to the skills there to know how to tell the story. I posted my stories there to help people to develop their own story. The quicker you have your story, the quicker you're going to build some business. When people ask you, what do? You must know what to say. Then why they are part of New Life, why they're excited, why did they join New Life, what do they want out of it, how to start a conversation, help them to how to handle objections. I can make a book of objections people gave me over the years. Later you get so used to it that if people have too many excuses, they're not really interested. You need to teach your people, your new business people, how to follow up. It doesn't help to do all the work and you do not follow up. It doesn't help just to go and give out a lot of business cards. You need to have conversations with people and then follow them up to know, is it a no, not interested, not right now. Sometimes people say no, they don't want to do it now, but then I add them in 6 months' time. I ask them again because people's circumstances change. Then get new distributors, plug them into the team events, show them all the team resources. The quicker they are plugged into the team events and come and join the team trainings and the team gatherings, that is how you get people and build relationships with all the people. And then also get them plugged into the corporate events like we had on Saturday. It's very nice to also meet the other people in the business, not just the people in our team, because, we can all encourage one another. Now, the important launch step is plan the launch meeting. If you're close enough, you can go to the person, do it at the house for an hour, or, in person is always the best. But otherwise, we also do it on Zoom. And, in the next week or so, I will put out a Zoom meeting for all the new people, onboarding session. Then validate their decision. Encourage them and just affirm with them that it's a great decision because it's a great company and it's great people we're working with. Assure them of your help and support, because if you bring in a person, it is your responsibility to help them and to support them. Then during the launch, set the right expectations in New Life. It is simple, but it's not easy because we work with people. You need to step out of your comfort zone. I definitely had to. When I started this business, there's no ways I would have talked to anybody. So it teaches you to step out of your comfort zone, and it is worth it in the long run. 80% of people are going to say no. 20% of people say yes. Then take time to learn the 7 skills. They are on Facebook, they're on boards, they're on telegrams, and if you still don't have them and you want to do it, let me know and I can send you all the links for all the skills. But that skills is really, really important to go through all of them. Then go through online information on the websites. I just shared the websites there for you. Everything which is on boards, which is on Facebook, which is on Telegram, is on the websites as well. The websites just have many more stories. Then use the Getting Started guide and the compensation plan. We have our own team Getting Started booklet, which is specific on the Bold Eagle team information or online resources which is available. But the company also now have a really great new Getting Started booklet. So I would suggest, have them both. Maybe print the company's one for you, and then we have our one. Then you put the two together and go through it. Then you know that you don't miss anything. Then do an action plan for the next 7 days. Then review it and make adjustments, because, things change. Then you plan your next 7 days again. But on a Sunday, you need to plan your week. You must know when is your trainings, set time aside for that. And then also all the meetings which you planned, all the appointments you have. Then work with a mindset that you want to enable them, that they can be self-sufficient. You can't, that's why when people get born, they're babies, and then they become toddlers, and then they become young adults, and then they become adults and older and all of that. And as you go along, you learn and you grow up. You can't be a baby all the time. You need to grow up sometime. So if you're long enough in the business and you know where everything is, then you're sort of an adult now and you need to plan your own stuff. It's not then for your upline to go and say, oh, why didn't you go there? Or why didn't you do this? Or, you're the adult and you have to take responsibility. The first event is I do it. The second event, we do it. The third event, you do it. That is how you should train your new people. They should be able to do their own events in 3 months' time. So you should be able to train a person in 3 months' time if they attend everything and they, go through all the resources which you send them. Action trumps every time. Aim to get your new person in action. So our mindset is to get our people to be self-sufficient and in 3 months' time that they can take action and can cope without you. And it is their own business. They need to go for it then. Right. Effective events, there's three key fundamentals is talking to people, building a relationship, then following up with people who are on our list. And the third one is inviting people we're talking to the next event. Always have a next event. So when you're dealing with people, always tell them what is the next event and doing the above daily. Then the power of events. Live events is always better than virtual events. If you can do something in person, live, like the event we had on Saturday, is always so much nicer than to do it on Zoom. Our in-person events give more credibility. It tells all the stories, and it's also a social event. You build relationships there. It's also an emotional experience because you participate and, talk to one another. It is duplicatable. Invite to events and host events will be more successful. So make sure that you invite people to in-person events. Then for the parts to successful events, is inviting to the event. You need prospects. And my ticket to get into the event is to have a guest. So we must lead by example. We had that when we went with Louis on that trip. Louis said everybody's ticket to the Kruger Park is we had to post a video. That's why you saw so many videos got posted by the people on the bus, because he said we can't go into the Kruger Park if we didn't
make a
video. So that was our ticket. So your ticket to the event is to bring a guest. Okay, then your pre-meetings before the event, make sure everything's go well, prepare well, speakers, the room, etc. Be organized. Look that you put in effort into the event. The event itself is the presentation, so make sure it is well prepared. And then your post-meeting is your follow-up, and then help them to get started. Right, aspects of great events. First is exciting times. So, it must be, the excitement must be in the room. And Joel was saying there, that's why sometimes it's good to have the music, because there's different personality types and some people like the music. So it's powerful success stories which people share with one another. It get people ready. Value-added information. So if it's an educational event, it's always good to have good information. It adds value to your presentation. And painting a vision of the future of health and financial. So, ask people, where do they see themselves in 5 years' time? We had there, Joel played the music, and then you had to visualize where you're going to be in 5 years' time. And, you can do this at home. You can sit at home, put on the music, visualize. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? What do you want to do? What do you want out of life? And then the last one, which is Nothing will happen if there's not a call to action. If the action isn't happening, you can dream and visualize as much as you want to. Nothing is going to happen. Right, then what can you expect from me? I will ensure you know where to find the relevant resources, the best possible training, and the right events. I will invest time and effort in you. One thing is for certain though, I will never work harder on your business than you are prepared to work yourself. And that is sort of an indicator for you as the upline. If a person don't invest time in the business, then you know they are not really there. So, that's a good indicator. I just judge people on their actions, not their words. Words is cheap, words is easy, but actions is a little bit harder to do.
But they say words don't come easy.
Yeah. I will always answer the phone. If I don't, I will always aim to get back to you within 24 hours. Like Bev Freer phoned me today, and I did phone her back.
But she was at a coffee shop chatting to someone at the time.
So she couldn't answer. So Bev, I did phone you back. Then what I expect from you, to give this business at least 12 months of consistent work and effort. Consistent work and effort. There are too many people come into the business, they're there for a month, and then they said, no, things doesn't go that well, and then tomorrow you don't see them anymore. If you don't, I remember when Chris started his architectural business, it took us 2 years to build it, that it's a nice, stable business. Your first 2 years, most new businesses went bankrupt or go bankrupt in their first 2 years. Because people don't stuck it out. Right. To be 100 PV active every single month, you need to do your 100 PV every month. Otherwise, you are not using your own products. Then you buy your products at Asda or Pick n Pay or one of these places.
Dis-Chem.
Yeah, that is why the company have this 100 personal PVs, which you're supposed to do. To attend the recommended trainings and events in the best of your ability. To be coachable and approachable, everything with open mind and a positive attitude. And communication goes both ways. If I try to reach out to you, please reply at your earliest convenience. Then, what you can expect from yourself is I commit to be 100 personal PV active every month. I commit to attend all the events and trainings and support meetings and events put together by the company or my upline. And then prospect consistently and enroll regularly. Then become professional as soon as possible. Learn the necessary skills. Make one less mistake every day. Get better and better and better. And the type of events is in-person small groups, in-person big groups, virtual events. And how often do you do events? Is virtual events is weekly. In person, there are 2 in a month. Normally in home, you should do 2 in a month in your house. Every 3 months, a large event. That is normally the company events. You don't have to organize it, but you should do 2 personal meetings in a month where you invite people. Then inviting, make it personal and speak to people. Don't just send messages. And thank you for your time.